The early morning sun cast a golden glow over the Manhattan skyline from the 48th floor of a sleek glass tower. Hello everyone. Enjoy these relaxing moments as you watch. Lucas Bennett, one of New York's top real estate moguls, stood by the window of his penthouse office, sipping black coffee and perusing blueprints. He had just finalized a substantial deal in Midtown, but as always, he was already on the hunt for the next major opportunity. Just then, his phone buzzed. "Lucas, you need to see this," came the excited voice of Brian Carter, his longtime real estate scout. "An abandoned Victorian mansion upstate just hit the market. It's unbelievable. I think it's perfect for you." Lucas raised an eyebrow. "Abandoned mansion? Sounds like a haunted money trap?" "No, trust me. It's a 19th century architectural treasure. Original columns, stained glass windows, carved mahogany interiors, and the lot includes 3 acres of overgrown gardens. The current owners are desperate to sell." Lucas turned to face the sprawling cityscape, his eyes narrowing. "Send me photos immediately." Within minutes, his inbox pinged with images that took his breath away. There it stood, a towering Victorian monstrosity half overtaken by ivy and shadows, with shattered windows and boarded doors. Yet, beneath the decay lay a grand structure of haunting allure. Something about it stirred him. It wasn't just a project. It felt like a find. "I want to see it today," Lucas declared firmly. "Call the car." As his black SUV sped through the city's fading pulse and into the tranquil landscapes of upstate New York, Lucas observed the scenery change from steel and concrete to winding roads and whispering trees. His instincts rarely let him down, and today they screamed that this mansion held a story. When he arrived, the house towered in front of him like a slumbering giant. Vines snaked up its cracked stone walls, and a rusted weather vane creaked in the breeze. The air felt colder here, thicker, as if the ground itself were holding its breath. Brian waited at the gate. "Ready to step back in time?" he asked with a grin. Lucas didn't reply. His gaze was fixated on the mansion's upper windows. Something or someone had moved. "Probably birds," Brian said quickly. "Happens all the time. You'll see. It's just old wooden tales." Lucas remained unsure. Inside, the air was heavy with dust, but the craftsmanship astounded him. French bronze chandeliers, Italian marble floors, intricate wood carvings worn by time. His architect, David Moore, joined them inside and immediately began evaluating the structure. "It's holding together better than I anticipated," David murmured, tapping a wall. "But the electrical system is outdated. Everything will need rewiring." As they ascended toward the grand staircase, a loud thump resounded from above. Lucas froze. Brian forced a laugh. "Raccoons, probably. These places attract all sorts of wildlife." "Can we go upstairs?" Lucas inquired, his voice low. Brian hesitated. "Sure, just be cautious. Some floorboards might be weak." Each stair creaked under Lucas's weight, dust swirling in the beams of sunlight filtering through cracked windows. Upstairs, room after room whispered of forgotten moments. Tattered curtains, empty shelves, a child's broken rocking horse. Lucas ventured into a narrow hallway leading to the attic. A door at the end stood slightly ajar. He reached for it. Inside, the attic was dim. Shafts of light pierced through holes in the roof, casting shadows that danced over old trunks, suitcases, and furniture cloaked in cloth. But something halted Lucas in his tracks. Footprints, fresh ones, small. He crouched down. The dust was disturbed. Nearby lay a folded blanket, an empty food wrapper, a child's flashlight. Someone had been there recently. He called out, "Hello." Silence. He pulled out his phone, turned on the flashlight, and followed the trail toward a distant corner. As he neared, he detected the faintest rustling, followed by a whisper of movement. Lucas gradually pushed aside a dusty curtain. In the corner, curled against the wall, was a little girl. Her face was pale, eyes wide with fear. She held a bundle to her chest, wrapped in layers of cloth. Her arms trembled as she pressed the bundle closer. The bundle emitted a soft cry, and Lucas felt his breath hitch in his throat. It was a baby. He knelt down. "Hey, it's okay. I'm not here to hurt you." The girl remained silent, her eyes flicking to the door as if calculating how quickly she could escape. Lucas set down his phone, allowing the light to shine gently. "My name is Lucas. What's yours?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Emily." "And who's that you're holding?" "My baby brother." "Noah?" Lucas blinked. She couldn't be older than 10. "Where are your parents?" he asked gently. Emily's lips trembled. "Mom said she'd come back, but she didn't. It's been 2 weeks." Lucas glanced at the infant. The boy stirred but didn't cry again. He was either too tired or too accustomed to hunger. "You can't stay here," Lucas said firmly but softly. "It's not safe." Emily looked up at him, her voice barely audible. "Are you going to take us away from here?" "I'm going to take you somewhere warm," Lucas replied, his voice steady. "Somewhere safe, I promise." She didn't move. Lucas extended his hand. "Let me help." Tears welled in Emily's eyes. After a prolonged pause, she reached out, still clutching Noah tightly in one arm, and took his hand. Lucas lifted her gently, guiding her out of the attic step by a careful step. They descended the stairs. The mansion appeared darker now, as if it had revealed a secret. "Why do you think Emily and Noah were hiding in that mansion all alone? What sort of mother would leave her kids in such a place? Do you suspect there's a larger mystery behind it? If you were, Lucas, what actions would you take next? If this story resonated with you, comment 100 below and share which part shocked you the most." The mansion's iron gate groaned shut behind them as Lucas helped Emily into the backseat of his SUV. She clung tightly to her baby brother Noah, whose tiny face peeked out from beneath the worn blanket. Lucas glanced at them through the rear-view mirror as he started the engine. Emily's eyes darted anxiously, her knuckles white from grasping the baby. He softened his tone. "Are you hungry?" Emily hesitated, then gave a tiny nod. Lucas reached into the console and retrieved a protein bar and a bottle of water. "It's not much," he said, "but we'll stop for something warm soon." Emily didn't eat immediately. Instead, she unwrapped Noah's blanket first, ensuring he was comfortable. Only then did she take a bite of the bar. Lucas was taken aback by the maturity in her actions. She had the careful demeanor of a mother, not a child. They drove in silence down the winding country roads back toward the city, Lucas unable to stop glancing in the rearview mirror. Who would leave children like this in an abandoned mansion? More importantly, why? At a quiet 24-hour diner just outside Albany, Lucas pulled into the lot. "We'll sit inside," he said. "You'll be warm, and I promise no one is going to take you or your brother from me." Inside, the diner was cozy and nearly empty. Lucas picked a corner booth. Emily slid in cautiously, still cradling Noah against her chest as if he were made of glass. A waitress approached, casting a curious glance at Emily. Lucas shot her a look that said, "Don't ask," and she nodded. They ordered pancakes, scrambled eggs, and warm milk. As they waited, Lucas leaned forward. "Emily, I know this is difficult, but I need to know what happened to your mom." Emily stared down at the silver napkin holder. She said she had to go somewhere important. "She told me to wait, that she'd be back in a day or two." Lucas lowered his voice. "And your dad?" "We don't have one." A sharp pang of pain shot through Lucas's chest. This girl had been surviving alone, caring for a baby in an abandoned house for 2 weeks. "Did your mom say where she was going?" Emily shook her head. "Only that it was dangerous, that if someone came looking, I should hide in the attic and not make a sound." Lucas paused, his thoughts racing. Dangerous hiding? This wasn't a case of neglect. Something more complicated was happening here. The food arrived, and for a while the only sound was the soft clinking of silverware. Emily ate slowly, keeping an eye on her baby brother as he stirred and whimpered. Lucas could see he needed formula, diapers, and basic supplies they didn't have. After breakfast, he made a call to his assistant, Sarah, I need you to get the guest room ready at my place and send someone to purchase baby essentials. Diapers, formula, clothes, bottles, everything for a 1-month-old. I'm bringing 2 guests. 2? Who? No questions, just do it quickly. Back in the car, Emily began to doze. Noah snuggled against her chest as the city lights came into view. Lucas's thoughts intensified. If Emily's mom was truly in danger, bringing the children into the spotlight could jeopardize their safety. Whatever secrets that mansion concealed could just be the beginning. At his Manhattan penthouse, Sarah awaited them at the private elevator. Her eyes widened when she noticed Emily and the baby, but she remained silent. "I've prepared the guest room," she whispered. "The baby supplies will arrive in an hour." "Thank you," Lucas replied. The penthouse was contemporary and inviting, featuring tall windows overlooking the Hudson River. Emily stepped inside, her bare feet sinking into the plush carpet. She gazed around in awe, as if the whole place were a fantasy. "This is your room," Lucas said, opening a door to a cozy guest suite. "There's a crib for Noah and fresh clothes on the bed. You can shower and rest, you're safe here." Emily looked up at him. "Why are you helping us?" Lucas hesitated. "Because no child should be left alone, and because I couldn't walk away from you." Her eyes filled with tears, but she quickly looked down, concealing them. She whispered, "Thank you." After she closed the door behind her, Lucas turned to Sarah. "Dig into missing persons reports from upstate. Focus on single mothers. I need to identify who that woman is and what she's hiding from." Sarah blinked, then nodded. "Got it." Later that night, Lucas sat alone in his office, staring at a photo he had taken earlier of Emily feeding Noah. Something about it haunted him. This wasn't merely a rescue. It was the beginning of something much larger. Suddenly, he recalled something. He stood up, accessed his laptop, and pulled up the mansion's renovation files. Among the photographs sent by Brian earlier, there was one, just one, that drew his attention now. In the upper attic window, barely visible, stood a figure, a shadow, watching. His breath caught in his throat. It wasn't Emily. Someone else had been there. Do you believe someone was spying on them from that attic window the entire time? Who could it be? And are the kids still at risk even now? Comment your theory below, and if you find this story captivating, drop a like and a heart. The next morning, Lucas was already at his desk, sipping black coffee when Sarah walked in with a folder in her hand, her expression unreadable. "I found her," she said. Lucas set the cup down slowly. "Emily's mother?" Sarah nodded. "Her name is Rachel Green, a former investigative journalist. She vanished 3 weeks ago while she was working on an expose about corruption in a major pharmaceutical company. She hasn't been seen since..." Lucas's heart raced. She was on the run for a reason. "There's more," Sarah stated, opening the folder. Before she disappeared, she accessed sealed court records and whistleblower files related to one of the company's top executives, Trevor Cole. He's been accused of hiding side effects connected to a popular children's medication. Lucas leaned back in his chair, astonished. So she had been trying to take down a billion-dollar corporation while having 2 kids with her. She had to hide, Sarah explained, and she left them in that mansion, probably the only place nobody would think to look. Lucas stood. "We must locate her immediately." That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She crept into the living room with Noah, wrapped in her arms, where Lucas was watching the news, still dressed in his suit from the day. She sat beside him, silent for a moment. "Did you find my mom?" she asked quietly. Lucas turned toward her. "Not yet, but we're trying, I promise." Emily held Noah tighter. "She said she'd come back. I want to believe that." "I think she wants that too," Lucas said kindly. "But sometimes, grown-ups must do very difficult things to protect the people they love." She nodded, blinking quickly to stave off tears. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Lucas tensed. No one knew the private elevator code except Sarah. He rose and checked the monitor. A woman, pale and drenched from the rain, stood there with wide, fearful eyes. Lucas's heart raced. "Rachel!" He hurried to open the door. She stumbled in, breathing heavily. "Where are they?" she cried. "They're safe," Lucas assured her. "They're inside." Rachel burst into tears, trembling as she dropped a soaked backpack onto the floor. I didn't know where else to go. They were following me, watching the house I used to stay in. But I saw your name on the renovation permit. You bought the mansion. Lucas nodded. I found Emily and Noah there. Before he could elaborate, a small voice called out, Mom! Rachel turned, and there was Emily, standing in the hallway in an oversized t-shirt, cradling her little brother. Emily, Rachel whispered. Emily froze. Her legs seemed unable to move, and then without warning, she dashed forward. Rachel dropped to her knees as Emily fell into her arms, sobbing. I waited, Emily cried. I waited like you said. I know, baby, I know, Rachel sobbed. I came back. I never stopped trying. Lucas watched from the side, his heart aching at the raw emotional exchange between mother and daughter. For a long moment, the room was filled only with the sound of their tears. We'll keep you safe now, Lucas reassured her. I have the means. I know people. We can expose all of this and make it right. Over the following week, Lucas worked tirelessly with a trusted legal team and a retired FBI contact. The evidence Rachel had managed to smuggle out proved explosive. The media quickly picked up the story. Pharmaceutical giant accused of covering up deadly drug data. Whistleblower, mom risking her life to save her children, and the truth. Billionaire real estate developer aids in uncovering one of the largest scandals of the decade. Trevor Cole was apprehended, and the Justice Department initiated a full investigation. Rachel was offered a protected witness deal and cleared of any wrongdoing. One morning, Lucas took Emily and Noah to a nearby park. The sun was shining for the first time in weeks. Rachel watched them from the bench, her eyes radiating peace. She told me I could play today, Emily said as she climbed onto the jungle gym. Lucas smiled. That's because she knows you're safe now. Emily looked up at him. Will you still be around? He knelt beside her. If you want me to be. She pondered for a moment before nodding. You're like the hero in those stories, the ones with castles and secret hideouts. Lucas chuckled. Then I guess this is our happy ending. That evening, as the family sat on the balcony overlooking the city skyline, Rachel turned to Lucas. I don't know how to thank you. Lucas shook his head. You don't have to. Just raise those kids to be strong, kind, and brave like their mom. Rachel reached over and squeezed his hand. They sat in silence, gazing at the stars. The nightmare had ended, but something beautiful was just beginning. How did you feel witnessing this story unfold? Were you surprised by how everything came together in the end? If this story touched your heart, please comment below to let us know.